This is the very, very big G squared, and we are Approved Detailing about to give this beast full XPEL PPF. Keep watching to see more. Hi, I'm Abby from Approved Detailing, and today we're going to talk about this G squared. Now, a G squared is no mean feat, not only because of its size, but because it's a G-Wagon in the first place, and they are some of the most complicated cars that we do on a regular basis for PPF. So come and check out our video and we'll explain how. So in my opinion, any G-Wagon should have PPF, but in particular, this one has Magno paint, and Magno paint, if you didn't know, can't be polished and can't really be easily rectified even at a dealer, because basically if you had a damage on the paint and you needed to redo it, even mixing the proper clear coat, you won't necessarily get the same finish. So the idea is to protect it and try and avoid that happening. And PPF is essentially a polyurethane film that we apply to the car. In our case, it's pre-cut, so you can see here everything is covered to protect it and reduce any chance of damage to the body itself, and JM is just putting that on here, and it's going on the full car that I'm going to show you in a minute how we do it, and we also have some other shots from what we've put on earlier as well. So yeah, it's really no mean feat, as I say. It's very difficult, but when we say we protect everything that's possible on the car. So that includes the undergrille like you have there, it includes the wing mirrors, it includes the wheel arches, the outer fender flares, everything. Now, I mentioned that our PPF is pre-cut, which means we don't need to remove badges and panels, and this is our design room, so we're going to explain how we do it. So, Wendell has the plotting system here. We're only using XPEL. We have Ultimate Plus, which is the glossy version of the film, and we have XPEL Stealth, which will go onto that Magno paint you see on our G squared today, but also you can actually transform a car by doing a gloss to satin finish by putting satin PPF onto a gloss paint, and it looks very good. We actually did a Range Rover recently that will pop a clip for you to show just how the transformation is on that. But back to the G squared. As I said, G-Wagons are complicated enough, but a G squared is complicated, and then complicated again. So this is the template, and as you can see, we have all the parts, even like the rear tire cover here. This is the rear door, this is the bonnet, wing mirrors, fenders. Now, when it comes to PPF, even though we have the template often for everything that we do, sometimes we do a small bit of modification, and it's a little bit manual, although the end result will be as if it's pre-cut. Why do we do that? Well, for example, take the bonnet here. That bonnet is so huge, and you can't tell on the screen, but of course, a G-Wagon in general bonnet has lots of creases. And with the size of the bonnet, we want to avoid any stretching by pushing those material into the crevices. So basically, we do a bit manual to have a bit of leniency there. Same way we'll do that for a lot of other bonnets as well, to be honest, just so we can get the best fitment in our experience. Although if a client really wanted the template, of course we have the template. And for the majority of the other panels, we always do pre-cut anyway. I think for this particular car, if you see, actually, can I even call it a car? It's more of a truck. If you see the doors are all pre-cut too. However, we have done a little bit manual here, is that correct?
Yes.
So what part are we doing manual? Is it the wing mirrors?
On the wing mirrors, ma'am.
Okay, so what are you exactly doing?
Because they changed the ring mirrors, so that's why the template is not exact on the...
Okay, and also as well, if we ever need to, we can actually make templates that will still be pre-cut, but in-house made by Wendell and the design team here. And then behind you is our plotting machine, and this is how the material is cut. So it's put in the program, then Wendell will come here, load the machine up with the correct material and put it here. And quickly, before we go back out there, I'm going to show you our room with all of our... Well, it's organized chaos, but anyway, here's all of our XPEL film, and this is our XPEL film, and this is the only film we're using for normal PPF. But then when it comes to colored PPF, we are using some other brands, and they do have very good warranties, 8 to 12 years, and then we have a bit of vinyl there. But in terms of normal PPF, glossy or satin, it's only XPEL. Let's go back out there and see how the G63 squared is getting on. Okay, so now they're about to put the door on, and JM here with the brush is just basically getting air, making sure there's no dust on the surface, because although the cars go through a normal preparation, actually normally they get polished. In this case it can't be polished because it's Magno paint, but they basically be polished to take all the decontaminants off the paint, and then they come through here, and then they're still prepped again to take any more decontaminants off the paint. This car here in particular, although it couldn't be polished, it would have had a very light clay bar, because sometimes you might feel the surface is a little bit rough. So we basically make the surface, can you hear? Very nice and smooth. So the surface is perfect as possible before we put PPF on. Okay, so they're just removing this front door here. And as you can see, as they're removing it, they're spraying on so they can get ready to adhere it to the vehicle. But it takes 3 guys because the door is so big, in all honesty. And our PPF teams are between 3 to 4 people usually. Sorry, it's just a bit noisy there. So you can see they kind of have to hold it all together because they don't obviously want the backside sticking together as they're peeling this off. But also, if you can start to see as they're removing that, there's a gap there for the door handle. And then also for this part as well, but on the door, of course, as well. And now they're putting it on the car, and as you can see, that's pretty quickly. They will put it into its basic place, and then piece by piece, they'll seal it on properly by using the squeegee to kind of put it down. And you can see there that it's fitting around pretty precisely. As Wendell mentioned, it's a little bit of manual around the wing mirror, but that's only so we get the precise fitting. But as you can see, the basic shape is there. So this is what we mean when we're not removing any badges or panels from the car. Sometimes we can remove the door handles if a client really wants to avoid a seam behind. But in general, we don't like to do that, because if the car is brand new and you just got it from the dealership, unless you're doing something where you need to take the panels off, like changing the color, for me, it's better to leave it as is, although we are open to the idea sometimes if clients want minor things removed. And also on that note, you may notice, but why is the rear fuel cap off? Don't know why I said rear fuel cap. There's only one fuel cap on this car. Anyway, if you imagine when you do this fender, and this fender's going to be up to here because there is some seams on a car so big. Obviously with the fuel cap, whether it's open or closed, we need to get the material around it and get the correct fitment. So we always remove just the fuel cap, but of course that just kind of screws off and goes back on. It's not like removing a mechanical piece of the car. Yeah. I would try. No, he can help me. Am I doing it right? Oh. Try to squeeze hard. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Super satisfying. He said perfect. You heard it. Well, the G Squared is at the end of its journey with approved, at least until its checkup, ready to go out on the road. And also, did you notice one last small detail? We added a bull bar to the front as well, which we took care of for the installation of the guide as well. Car's going to have its final checks now, so final cleaning, etc. But it's going to be out later this afternoon and absolutely glowing under the sunlight with the amazing colour it is, now protected by XPEL Stealth at approved detail. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and we're going to see you next time. Bye!